and they knocked on the door and asked my mum, I'll give you 100 quid. I'm like, yeah, all right. Harry Enfield running in, knocking on the door. Paul Artis answered, and they're like, you stole my cat, or something like that. It was DVD player. That's going on the CV. Barcelona make one of the strangest signings of the transfer window. Alvaro Morata agrees to leave Chelsea. Frank Lampard brings in his former teammate. There's bad news for the Arsenal defence, Huddersfield Town Avenue manager, and we've got all of the transfer news. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host, Matt Folick. You are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, and Barcelona have completed the loan signing of Prince Boateng from Sassuolo for about £8 million. There is no doubt in my mind that this is one of the weirdest transfers in the January window. Not only because Barcelona are looking to a lower Serie A team but for one of their signings, but also because Prince Boateng was kind of finished, right? In the last few years, he's gone from Schalke to AC Milan to Las Palmas to Frankfurt to Sassuolo, and now eventually finds himself in the reigning champions of La Liga. Slightly odd. As for why he's been brought in, well, it seems that he'll make more of an impact off the bench than the likes of Munir will, but he won't exactly be a starter, even not ahead of Coutinho, who's been rumoured to leave the club this month. Throughout the rest of the season, I've no doubt that Prince Boateng will chip in with more than a few goals, which to me raises the question that I want you guys to answer in the comments section: can any player actually be good at Barcelona? Surely if they just picked absolutely anybody, they'd do better than they normally would because of the talented squad they've got around them. Think about it. If you're Prince Boateng, you don't really do much on the pitch. Get forward, let Messi and Suarez create all the opportunities, and you're bound to tap more than a few in. I could obviously be talking absolute nonsense, but do let me know down below. The reason I ask is because think about young players like Giovanni Dos Santos and Bojan. When they were coming through at the new camp, they looked unbelievable. They were scoring hat-tricks and they were tipped to be the next big thing. Giovanni Dos Santos, 18 months after leaving Barcelona, was on loan at Ipswich, and as for Bojan, well, he couldn't even get a game at Stoke. No offence to both of those clubs, but you know what I mean. But moving on to a bit of striking news elsewhere in Spain, and Atletico Madrid are close to signing Alvaro Morata from Chelsea. This will be a loan deal until the rest of the season, with an option to buy permanently for £48.5 million. This seems like a ludicrous amount of money for someone who's done so poorly at Chelsea. However, Atleti have probably looked at his record at Real Madrid and Juventus and decided that he's probably worth signing. He'll have to compete with the likes of Diego Costa and Antoine Griezmann at Atletico Madrid. However, he won't have to compete with Nikola Kalinic, who's had a pretty poor time in the Spanish capital and so will more than likely not be shifted out. And moving on again in what is possibly one of our busiest daily news that we've had in recent weeks, and it's Frank Lampard's Derby, where the manager has brought in Ashley Cole. Now, Lampard and Ashley Cole obviously know each other really well. They've been teammates with Chelsea and with England, but is this going to work out so well? Of course, Cole has a wealth of experience. He's won 3 Premier League titles, 7 FA Cups and more with the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal. But this time he'll be dropping into the Championship at the age of 38, a completely new experience for him. Well, if you don't count the 14 games he played on loan for Crystal Palace in England's second division back in 2000. Lampard has said that his former teammate is still fit and has a wealth of experience to bring to the pitch and to the dressing room. But what do you guys think? We've already seen Thierry Henry bring Fabregas to Monaco, and that teammate into manager-player situation hasn't worked out well for them so far. So do you think Cole will be a success at Derby and under Frank Lampard? Let me know in the comment section, of course, along with everything else you hear on this daily news. But again, moving on swiftly, and it's to Hector Bellerin. Unfortunately for Arsenal, the right-back has injured his cruciate ligaments, meaning that he could be out for up to 6 months or maybe even longer. It looks like he'll be facing a race to be fit for the start of next season, meaning that Arsenal looks surprisingly short in the right-back options. They've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who looks like a good youngster, but I think is more of a defensive midfielder. They've also got Stefan Lichtsteiner, who again is an experienced player, but maybe not up to the standards that Bellerin is. And lastly, they've got Carl Jenkinson, who hasn't played a minute of Premier League football, but reportedly is on around 70k a week. This is pretty ridiculous, and I can't really see him being a good fit to replace Hector Bellerin. So, Arsenal fans, do you want to go into the transfer market and bring in a new right-back? Of course, they'll have to do this soon if they want Sven Mislintat's help, who has said that he'll be leaving the club on February the 8th. And next, the Premier League has a new manager in the form of Jan Siewert, the new Huddersfield manager. Huddersfield got rid of David Wagner last week and have now brought in a guy from exactly the same place that they bought Wagner in from, the Dortmund second team. Now, while I've no doubt that Siewert is a good coach, I don't quite understand why they've gone to exactly the same place to fix the problems from the old guy. Now, whatever Wagner and Siewert have a differences, they they've come from the same job where they've probably been taught the same principles, have many of the same ideas, and are bringing the same sort of techniques and tactics to the game. So if they didn't work for Wagner at Huddersfield and they felt the need to get rid of him whilst in fear of relegation, why have they gone back to sign Siva? This is kind of like being really annoyed that a product you've bought is broken and then going back to the shop to buy a new one. It doesn't quite make sense to me. Of course, let me know down below whether you think Siva will be a success, but I just don't quite understand it. Maybe they could have, as cringy as it is, gone in for someone like Sam Allardyce if they really wanted to stave off relegation. And lastly but not least, we come to a roundup of today's transfer news. First off, West Ham have had a bid of around 35 million for Atalanta forward Zapata rejected after he scored 4 goals the weekend to take his tally in Serie A to 14 goals. Cardiff are also preparing a £2 million bid for Sunderland's Josh Maja, who in League One this season has managed to bag 15 goals. Elsewhere, Arsenal want Juventus under-21 and Italy under-21 goalkeeper Emil Aduro, who's currently on loan at Sampdoria, to replace Petr Cech at the end of the season and give competition to Bernd Leno in goal. And lastly but not least, PSG have made a £25 million offer for Everton's Idrissa Gueye. That's all from me for today in the Daily News. Of course, you can smash the like button down below and let me know in the comment section everything you thought on today's Daily News. Will any of these transfer rumours actually happen? Will Ashley Cole be a success? Will Jan Siva be a success? Will Alvaro Morata really turn his form around? Let me know all that and more down below, and you can also click here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, have a great day and I'll see you guys later.